Greetings from the land of Canada. My name is Nooch, and welcome back to the road to 6K. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys a game that I actually played off camera. I didn't end up filming this game. I just wanted to queue for some ranked. I wanted to pick Rubick because I just got the new skin for him. Looks really cool. It kind of coincides with my passion for playing poker, so I had to get it. Also, it has the dice on the back, so it's literally like the most fitting skin that I've ever seen for like me and my boys playing poker at my house and everybody else's house and stuff. So, basically, we decided to run with a drow strat this game. It all started with our Shadow Shaman going mid and saying that, I'm going to pick Shadow Shaman mid, it's going to be lit. And then I just said, you know what, if we're going to be doing that, we might as well get a drow. And we just basically picked around getting a drow for a while. And yeah, this is our team composition. It's actually decent. The only problem, we had a little bit of stirring, a little bit of distress in our ranks because of this Nature's Prophet pick, being because Nature's Prophet is not an offlaner that we can frontline with. It's an offlaner that can really split push and basically add a little bit more DPS, and we had some trouble with that. So the game starts off with me deciding that we should probably invade the rune. We're pretty strong at level 1 because all the extra right click damage from drow. I was really upset with how my drow didn't react to the arrow because it was like an easy first blood. And then I basically am just raging here. I actually just started typing, so I get body blocked by the Mirana, and it just goes to show, you shouldn't be typing, you shouldn't be flaming and stuff, because this is what happens. You get picked off, you get body blocked, and it's literal. You're not using your APM to play the game. You're using it to type. So getting a double kill right at the start of the game is really bad for us, and like it's gonna just get worse basically. And I mean, we have a Visage in our lane. Support Visage is actually very powerful. I decided to go support Rubick because honestly, he's fun. Also, I was thinking maybe we could get a kill here. We have a lot of right-click damage. Pudge is very low as well. If he would have got his Grave Chill off, I think it would have been it. I think that would have been the kill. But you saw his animation got cancelled by him losing vision. Meanwhile, our Nature's Prophet goes down in the off lane. This was foreseen by the Visage, who was like, oh, Nature's Prophet offlane, it's a joke, I mean, I guess, like, Gyrocopter with boots and, like, Spirit Breaker with an Orb of Venom, that's a really tough lane to lane in. Like, you need to really react well to when stuff like this happens. And, like, TPing back to lane and everything, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to do that. As well as, like, he could use his trains to tank up a lot of the rocket barrage damage. Meanwhile, mid lane is extremely hard for Shadow Shaman. If we look at the last hits, it's actually decent. Actually, it's going pretty well. I just think that because Dragon Knight was able to get a double kill, or at least 2 assists, he's going to be ahead in the lane. And the tough part about this is that we just wanted to secure our safe lanes farm. We just wanted to make sure that this drow was able to get a good start because of the unfortunate happenings of the double kill at the start. I can take full responsibility for that. I was actually not in the right mind state this game. I really was like tired and stuff, and it just wasn't a good game for me. But you'll see, we end up bringing it back in the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but like I wouldn't be posting this if we didn't win the game. So some sick comeback. Anyway, Shadow Shaman gets hooked. There's really nothing that he can do here. He can maybe go for a kill on the Pudge, which I mean, Pudge has so much HP at this point. No rotations coming out from your boy Rubick or your boy Visage because they both do not have a teleport scroll, which is quite unfortunate. But this opens up the Nature's Prophet to lane against the Gyrocopter now, which, I mean, Gyrocopter seems to have 7 CS, which is terrible. I don't know, I mean, maybe that was a factor of this game, that like their hard carry didn't know how to play safe lane. But yeah, DK with a Naked Quelling Blade is actually doing very well against Shadow Shaman. I don't know why he has those items. What is his net worth right now, actually? He's saving up for something. He has 1,300. Wow. Okay, he's just rushing Midas, I guess. I don't know if that's the play. Might be what all the Chinese players do when they play Dragon Knight. I know that that's a very popular hero amongst those servers. Not so much on NA. It's like not first pick material or anything like that. But basically, I'm just pulling to get levels now. We want to be able to milk the safe lane as much as possible, since this is like really the one lane that we're going to win. And Nature's Prophet's basically just man fighting here. He thought that maybe with the Treants he'd be able to out DPS 2 heroes, possibly. Maybe, like, he probably was able to get away from that, I think. But Visage is actually taking a ton of damage here, and I see that, and I see that he's got his stun coming up, so I need to, you know, basically come in and help him out, which, I mean, he appears to have gotten away regardless. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever, there's just a bunch of farm. And this too, you know, he's going in, he's probably just going to breathe fire on him, which, I mean, that was close. I didn't feel like, I actually used Fade Bolt, I think, to reduce the damage from the creeps, so that they wouldn't be able to, like, that's what I was thinking. I didn't think that the creeps had enough damage to kill him, so I used Fade Bolt to reduce it. Well, I thought that the damage was enough, I mean. So now it's like, our level 3 Shadow Shaman mid has just been ganked twice. Me and the Visage haven't really been working together very well this game. I think that's a huge aspect of it. Dota is all about teamwork when it comes down to it. And if you're having like some issues with that, you need to sort of like either work through it or just wait it out and try not to like feed a bunch, which I mean that's exactly what we're doing. It's just really not good. But, you know, we have our Nature's Prophet. He's going the Sproutless build. I don't know if I agree with this. Sprout is a very good good spell in terms of being able to punish certain heroes. Like, if I'm clicking on the enemy heroes as a Nature's Prophet, and I see that none of them have tangos. None of them have any sort of way of breaking the trees. It's actually huge. Also, that's incredible how he managed to get it. A deny off like that between a tower, Visage right clicks, and Nature's Prophet and like 2 Treants. It's I don't think that it was skill. I really do think it was just lucky, but it's no big deal. Anyway, we got a smoked Pudge with 3 wards heading top. Spirit Breaker is also smoked heading towards our Shadow Shaman. I'm kind of ready for this rotation. I'd rather anticipate the rotation by positioning myself at the first place. And then I saw that I was too slow, so I had to just TP in. And we're gonna get this kill in Nature's. I didn't even notice Nature's Call missing there when I was playing, but now that I notice it now, that looks so bad. Okay, well, we've got a Mirana up here with a lot of levels. There's a lot of contributing factors for this game. I'll discuss it in the end. I'm in the mode where I'm just saying what I'm thinking right now, and I don't really want to spoil too much about the game by doing that. And finally, he dodges an arrow. Wow, Drow Ranger actually killing it right now. I guess this is why the Shadow Shaman was saying, like, you know, this Drow is actually playing really well. Like, that was one of the things he said, like, from the entire game. He's just like, yo, Drow's actually a good player, and he recognized that. So, he dodges the arrow again. That's very good. It's kind of a mess up on the Mirana. I managed to pick up a kill on the Pudge here, but since we have a hasted Shadow Shaman, we're actually going to be able to go ahead and get this done. Okay, we pick up the Mirana as well. I actually thought that we got that. I think I got pinged there because my telekinesis was on cooldown. I used it to basically disable the Pudge after he landed a hook, which, I mean, depending on how you think about it, I should have used it before he used hook, or just not at all, and we would have killed him regardless, and I could have saved it. Which, I mean, it's a very, very long cooldown. 22 seconds. I feel like this is a spell you shouldn't just, like, spam whenever. I don't know why he's not hooking this. Wow, that was really bad timing. Okay. Well, I wasn't in position for that. I just have really bad positioning this game is the main thing. Like, right here, 3 heroes. 3 heroes, I lift any of them and they're dead. But because my boots are in my stash and I didn't end up buying them at the side shop, my movement speed is very low and I'm not able to catch up with them. I always get a windlace as a support. Well, not always, but very often, just because that bonus move speed is excellent for positioning. And Visage is working on his medallion. Very core item on that hero as a support. I went to fort the mid tower because the Dragon Knight's going to push it. And he goes and tanks a couple of the tower hits here, which is... I mean, I guess you can afford to do that when you have 9 extra armor and a bunch of regen. But they have wards in our jungle. They have a ward right here. I should have realized that there was a ward there, but it's like kind of hard to predict where exactly they ward. But we end up going for a kill on this Dragon Knight. He said lift him up and place him down exactly where he was, and I said okay, good. It's a good play. Let's make it happen. And I decided to let him get the kill there. Mirana misses his arrow, unfortunately for him. I don't think it would have led to a kill, but misspell's a misspell. Drow Ranger why is there creeps here? That's really random. Drow Ranger with no mana. This doesn't matter though. I mean, that's just one spell that you really need. Draw Ranger is not a hero that requires a lot of mana, but every now and then it's good. Our Nature's Prophet, we're very behind this game. Like if we look at the XP, we're not that behind, but gold, it's like easily 2k. And that's really what the Midas is. Which, I mean, he actually ended up just rushing Power Treads instead. Remember the start that he had where he had like 1200 at 3 minutes? If he would have got a Midas at like 5 minutes, dude, I don't know if we can win this game. He just gets way too impossible to kill at that point. Like he gets AC, BKB, like drums. It's crazy. But we're looking for a kill on this gyrocopter. Look how I wanna point out how bad my positioning is here. You see how I'm just chilling here? I should be right here instead, and we could easily have killed this gyrocopter. But standing here is not good. And look, I'm even backing up again. Like I'm just like, well, you know, I'm Dr. Nooch. I'm just like, I'm just messing up real hard. I'm not the doctor you want to trust. Anyway, but maybe not this game. Normally I do pretty well, but here I just said lift him up. I decided not to pull him back again because it worked out last time, and it's actually pretty unfortunate that we weren't able to get the kill, and he sort of called me out for it. And I agree with him that if I did pull him back, we probably had maybe one extra tower hit kill that would have led to it. Maybe not. Maybe it would have been just a lot closer. But looks like Furion is able to pick up the kill on the gyrocopter. That's pretty big. Dragon Knight farming the jungle. Mirana is actually rushing Ags. That's not the build anymore. People kind of optimized. They did some good optimization on how much this hero just gains agility with levels. So people have learned that right-click Mirana is actually a bit more useful than magic damage Mirana. Which, I mean, that's just simply because they nerfed his Ags. It used to be the other way around where Ags Mirana was just incredibly strong. Not anymore, though. Right here, we're basically looking... I'm just, like, got an Invis rune. I'm looking for some kills. I didn't realize that there was 3 heroes around here. But, you know, since I'm Invis, I can't get punished. We're able to get a kill on the Spirit Breaker, as well as continue the push on the mid tower. They're putting in some sick rotations here, though. I'm basically just waiting for my teammates to come in. Once again, my positioning not the best. I could have disabled the Pudge through his ultimate a bit sooner, but we ended up trading Visage for a Spirit Breaker, which is pretty good. Once again, my raindrop saving my life, which is huge. Those IRDs are gonna pay for themselves in due time. Trust me. These are so good as an item. They're so good. Anyway, we got ourselves Gyrocopter up in here. You know, he's not really gonna carry the game, I think. Gyrocopter's a very hard, very tricky hero to carry the game with. Drums is definitely not the build. As far as being able to carry the game as a Gyrocopter, there's several things that you can do. I would say Ags is one of the items that actually helps you carry the game a lot because it adds so much physical damage. Also adds a lot of pushing capability to your hero. Right there, I mean, our tower just dies because his passive on Elder Dragon form is enormous. I still don't have my level 6 and it's 12 minutes in. I don't have a lot of impact this game, which is why it's better if I just don't go into player perspective, because it's a very boring game where I just sort of walk around and do nothing. Like, I was pretty useless this game, I'm not gonna lie. I think there was like maybe a couple plays that I made that could have led to us getting an advantage, but for the most part, not very high impact. Which we've got a decent push going down on the bot lane. I mean, we're starting to get towers now. We kind of bounced back from that huge deficit we originally had, but since they have a much like tankier lineup, they have 3 strength heroes. We're basically going to need to rely on a lot of our disables to be able to get our DPS out, which is essentially just our Jaw Ranger. I smoked there just because I wanted to see if maybe we can find a kill, and I end up doing it. You know, we end up picking up this Pudge. I stole his rot and I was just slowing him with that just because, like, I don't know, my rot counters his rot, makes it harder for him to deny himself, all that stuff. We end up rotating bottom here. And my Shadow Shaman's like, same game plan. Pick him up, let him down. I just want to ward trap him. So I'm like, okay, sounds good. So I go, I lift him. And since he was a bit too slow, he wasn't able to get his Serpent wards off. But we still end up getting the kill. See, this is something that's interesting. Okay, I thought he was disabled. I really thought he was disabled, but I'm glad that I was able to see that, you know, Shadow Shaman only has 1 point in Shackles. If he would have had more points in Shackles, that would have been a kill and we may have lived. Just because it's insane how the gyrocopter just managed to have a double damage earn at that point. I mean, he had it in his bottle, so it wasn't that lucky. It was a skill play, so not so bad. We've got our Visage, though. It looks like his birds are dead. I think that's one of the reasons why they picked Gyrocopter, is because Gyrocopter actually counters Visage pretty hard. In team fights, you just basically turn on Flat Cannon and the birds die wherever they are. If you look at the range of Flat Cannon, it's actually pretty imbalanced right now. Like, that's enormous. That's crazy. Like, that's outside of your vision range at nighttime. Like, that's kind of, like, pretty crazy. But, I mean, he's got 4 points in Gravekeeper's Cloak. This is not even a max rocket. You're going to see that this doesn't do that much damage. They're still converging on the Visage. Like, they still have a charge up on him. So they're going to be able to get the pick off here. They kind of dive our tier 2 tower. So maybe being able to find a follow-up kill here might be the play. But Shadow Shaman is just getting rocked right now. It's quite unfortunate. We end up rotating here. I mean, I'm trying my best here. I was thinking I could steal the hook there, and I knew that I could, but I ended up being like 2 mana short from being able to cast it, because that would have been a kill for sure. It's 360 pure damage. It's definitely a solid trade, and he doesn't end up getting the flesh heap as well. But I lost vision of him. The ward here didn't extend when he went to the high ground, so when he walked up to throw his hook at my Shadow Shaman, I ended up losing vision, and I wasn't able to steal the hook right at the start. Which, I mean, like I said, I don't play very well this game, which is why it's better if I just sort of look at it as a whole instead of just as my sole performance. Regardless, Pudge is a big problem in this game, because if he hooks our Drow, we basically lose every single fight. If he hooks our Drow, we just lose. Simple as that. So, I mean, it's basically on our Drow to carry the game. Nature's Prophet can make a lot of space through split pushing, but all the DPS is going to be coming out from him. So, you see that I have a Arcane energy booster in my quick buy. I end up going back on this. I end up thinking that, you know, since I have a Drow Ranger, I have an extra 50 damage as a support. So I've seen a lot of pro players do this, and I've actually had some decent practice doing it as well. I end up trading out my Arcanes for Power Treads. I put down my Sentry Ward. We end up picking up a kill on him. I know that the Spirit Breaker's there as well. He's trying to hide. Get a bonus kill is there as well there. Just some map awareness for you guys. Mirana has a 15-minute Aghanim Scepter, and he's not using it to farm. I think that's the I think the build at this point is you don't really want to fight, which, I mean, I right off the bat walk into here and I'm just in trouble. So I end up getting his leap, which costs him his life. I don't know why he overextended that hard for a Rubick kill. I think just that one extra right click that he put in would have done it, and he just leaped for me and ended up, you know, not having his escape, and my whole team's just waiting there to get a kill on the level 12 Mirana, which, I mean, I'm level 7 or level 8, I guess. So it definitely wasn't worth it. Right here, I would have liked it if my team just backed. Gyrocopter's hitting his power spike, so he's doing a ton of damage. My Drow Ranger, like, that basically wasn't a fight to take. It's unfortunate, but, like, everybody keeps their head on straight after something like that, you know? Like, we don't really nobody gave up this game. That's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing. I see I'm building Power Treads because I also have a 60 damage talent. So, like, that plus the Drow damage, I'm actually right-clicking for a significant amount. I end up stealing Rocket Barrage here. I'm basically just making space. I'm pulling them away from the tower, see if maybe I can, you know, delay the push a little bit. I'm glad the stun came out a little bit later, and I was able to pick up the Spirit Breaker before the rocket came in. He has a medallion. I don't know if that's the play. Actually, yeah, Spirit Breaker and medallion is pretty strong. I'm just basically tanking up the hits here. I'm baiting them into overextending, but it didn't work out the way that I wanted. And then he just gets hit with the arrow. Which, I mean, he gets punished with one right click, so who cares? I mean, no big deal. So they end up getting our tier 2 tower. It's pretty big. Nature's Prophet definitely overextends here by trying to go over this tower. It's kind of unfortunate you didn't see the Dragon Knight teleporting in. But, I mean, we're struggling this game. We're struggling to find our hold, basically, and you'll see it gets even worse. Like, that's the thing. Like, you think it looks bleak now, it doesn't stop. It really doesn't. Keeping an eye on myself because I have the lowest impact in this game, and I'm trying to think of what I can do to make my to make the game, like, basically better, to have improved this game. Because right now I'm just walking around as a Rubick. Maybe teleporting to the tier 1 here and trying to find some deep wars would have been good, but I end up positioning myself to get the kill on the Pudge here, so that's no big. That's pretty good. Just look at our Shadow Shaman, man. It's 18 minutes and he's a level 1 Necrobook. So bad. Which, I mean, how much he has? 55 CS at 18 minutes. It's quite unfortunate. Maybe that's why you just don't go Shadow Shaman mid, you know. It's definitely, but that's the thing. That's the thing, man. It's kind of my fault for not rotating as well as this Visage. Because Dragon Knight is such a gankable hero. And if we would have just camped him and maybe let the Drow Ranger solo up against the Mirana, we would have been in good shape. But our rotations have not been good at all. That's one thing about this game, is that my early gameplay was terrible. And my mid gameplay, I think it could have been better, but, well, it definitely could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as my early gameplay by far. So right now I'm waiting on my power spike. Power treads plus my level 10 is going to bump me up to, like, I don't even know. Like, my DPS spikes so insanely hard at that point. I'm basically just walking around trying to sap as much XP as possible. No, that's not really recommended. You're supposed to find your own XP as a support mostly. But right now we're in position here to be able to, you know, counter gank here. Looks like Nature's Prophet is just having a really hard time here. I'm just dicking around in mid lane looking for farm. I end up TPing top anyway so that we could team fight. Visage is overextending like crazy so that maybe he can get this kill on Spirit Breaker. This is crazy. This is actually really crazy how he managed to not get the kill there. I think if he would have held his shackles until the max duration, he would have got the kill. But instead we just get big time team wiped. And like, you know, at this point in any like pro game, I'd imagine they just type GG and go next. Which, I mean, it's kind of bad if you think about it when they do that, because like we end up winning this game. I know it looks insane right now, but like we do end up winning, which is crazy. It's all because of this Drow. This Drow had so much damage and like so much game impact. This Nature's also surprisingly had an insane amount of impact as well. But it's kind of hard to defend this at this point because we're all just dead. Like we're all respawning, you know. My TP's on cooldown, so I just have to walk in. His big derpy Rubick. It's got no game impact whatsoever. I mean, I got my power treads now, so that's good. I'm basically just overextending. I'm like overextending hella hard, and if their team is there, I get punished. If not, I end up stealing Dragon Tail here, so I'm like, okay, come here. Bang! Got him! GG. And like, Gyrocopter's here as well. We end up picking up the kill on the Dragon Knight, and I don't think that we find the Gyrocopter. Maybe if the Nature's Prophet didn't TP up here and maybe TP'd over here instead, we would have got it. But trading a Rubick for a Dragon Knight at this stage of the game is enormous. So we need to find our footing this game. That's the main thing, because we have exceptional push. Our ability to hit towers is insane right now. So if we're able to just find a bit of a lead, we can definitely pull that off. That being said, our Nature's Prophet starts Roshan, which is quite concerning. Shadow Shaman being disabled for 10 seconds also kind of sucks. They end up fighting at our shrine here, which, I mean, is pretty good for us. I always steal Empowering Haste. I'm gonna try to figure out how this guy ends up doing that, because I don't know if I can press Spell Steal during oh, this right here, I almost died to just right clicks from this guy. Anyway, we end up picking up the Pudge. The Mirana, I end up going into Fog and dodging his spell, so I actually end up living this fight. I don't want to go into Vision here, because if this guy just turns on Flat Cannon, I end up dying to one right click, so we're able to pick up a really nice fight there at our shrine. And like, this shrine being alive is actually enormous, because they ended up taking this tower, and if they go and they kill this shrine and this shrine, you know, we lose a lot of our map control. But this is also enormous. The Drow picked up a double damage rune. We end up killing Roshan. I went to base because I'm scared, and I just wanted to pick up some support items, TP scroll, and regenerate my HP. I don't think that was the play to Hurricane Pike him like that. I feel like they could have fought this Dragon Knight. He does, because we still have double damage on our Drow Ranger. But I go and I TP in here. We're gonna basically just see if we can, you know, take out these guys. I don't know why they're staying for the Drow kill. I guess they think that they're stronger than they really are, because we still have so much damage from this Drow Ranger. It's crazy. Like, if you look at my damage, like I right click for 200. Like, that's pretty big. We end up getting this Mirana as well. He has a Blink Dagger that he almost used, but ended up messing up. Right there, I'm just like basically trying to get out as many spells as possible. I end up getting hooked, which, I mean, depending on how you look at it, it's pretty good. I saw my Drow Ranger misclick there on his TP scroll. Quite unfortunate, but, like, my damage is, like, almost 200 as for my right clicks. So, I mean, that's really good for hitting towers. And the fact that I have power treads makes sure that I actually have the attack speed to do the damage anyways, which is pretty huge. And look at this, we have a team wipe. Look at that, the overextension here, the team fight here. Roshan, you know, they overextend to kill the Drow here. They don't have the discipline to back up. They think they're winning, they think they're ahead, and all of a sudden we're hitting buildings. And this is the strength of our lineup. This is what we excel in. We're able to kill buildings faster than them by far. They have Dragon Knight that hits buildings, and Gyro, if he builds Ags, which he's not building Ags. So, and like Marana can't hit buildings because he's going Aghanims. So this is the biggest strength for us right now, is we're just able to completely clean up these shrines within like 5 seconds. Like, it's crazy. This Nature's Prophet goes in, kills the shrine as well. Drow's doing some insane DPS to this as well. I mean, he's farming neutrals first, which, I mean, depending on how you look at it, that could be seen as optimal. Visage is like really overextended right now. I wouldn't be walking like this if I was him, because then stuff like this happens. I mean, he gives up a kill, it's no big deal. I've got my Yules finished. This game's not really about me, it's really about the team spirit, about how we managed to bring back, you know, a 15k gold deficit and like a 15k XP deficit. Like, that's huge. So we just got Manta style up on our Drow Ranger now. Pretty solid. They ended up seeing him and charging. They're actually charging my Shadow Shaman. We see that there was a ward here with my sentry, so we end up just like attacking it with familiars, which is nice. And they don't end up committing to that charge. It's good for us. I want to see what this Nature's Prophet's doing more, because at the end of the game he turns out to have the most damage, and I'm wondering if that's just through Wrath of Nature spam, or if he actually, like, I don't know, was doing insane damage with his Blade Mail and getting out and regenerating and coming back with full HP, doing more damage with Blade Mail, etc. Because Blade Mail versus Gyrocopter, I think, is an amazing item. Because if you just have a high HP pool and you turn on your Blade Mail during fights, he's killing himself with Flat Cannon, he's killing himself with Call Down, even Rocket Barrage to a degree. He just has so much AoE damage that there's nothing that he can do against Blade Mail. Well, except for getting BKB, but even then a lot of it's physical. Right now we're grouping up for a smoke. It's good stuff. We end up finding this Gyrocopter. I pick him up with my Yules, and I go and I hang out with him in Side Sprout. We end up taking him out pretty fast. That's also a big, what's it called? Big advantage of our lineup. We just have so much single target damage. So finding pickoffs like that's enormous. We could have re-smoked there, I think. Re-smoked and maybe chased down this Dragon Knight that we saw. That could have been a play, honestly. I'm going for Force Staff here. Force Staff's a great item. It's very good for positioning, as well as, you know, it kind of fits my build. Like, I end up getting the intelligence instead of the health as well, because I'm going for a more right-clicky Rubick. It's kind of where I'm going to be getting my damage, because there's really no good spells to steal that are, like, kind of easy. We get our Shadow Shaman initiated on, and, you know, Dragon Knight just decides to go in without his Gyrocopter, which, I mean, if you're going to be going on anybody, Shadow Shaman is one of the things to go on. And, like, right here, like, dude, I'm just right-clicking, man. I throw out my dust to make sure that we do that. And, like, you know, I'm just doing some damage. Just going over and over again. And you never know. That could have been the deciding factor in us getting that kill there, which, I mean, okay, I'm not going to take credit for that. Never mind. End up not having the reactions to be able to punish that. I mean, it's fine. Blink Dagger and Leap is really hard to punish. Nature's Prophet ends up surviving because Gyro blocked his hook. It's kind of jokes. Drow Ranger ends up getting away as well. Very good stuff. They ended up buying back on 2 heroes. No, they didn't buy back on it. Okay, that comes later. Okay, so nobody bought back. Nature's Prophet's just waiting for his Nature's Call right here so he can take this tower, but they're going to end up defending it anyways. Spoiler alert. This is not the item. Pudge does not go Medallion, I think. If you're going to be getting something that gives you, like, some people, they're like, oh, I want mana and I want armor. So, Medallion's the... Dude, just get Blade Mail, man. Blade Mail on Pudge is insane. Because you just hook somebody, press Blade Mail and ulti, and it's like, oh god, we have to stop him from dismembering. And then you get the dismember duration because you're not a hack, and you don't go 150 gold because you think that items on Pudge matter. It's all about positioning, man. And that +1 second dismember duration is huge. Items kind of matter on Pudge, but at level 20 you should have every item that you want. You should have your blink, you should have your Aether Lens, like even Ags at that point is very good. I was running around dewarding though. I think I just end up buying wards for the rest of the game and I never get my 4 staff. But like, we just have a lot of good ways of covering rotations and stuff like that. So being able to pick up stuff like that, like I got the Marana. He's trying to leap into the forest here. We end up getting him. Dragonite, I believe, gets hooked up by Pudge. No. Okay, never mind. But yeah, we're just gonna turn this into a push, dude. They overextended on my Shadow Shaman. He's able to live because he has what is this? How much extra health do you have from wow. Necronomicon gives 320 strength. That's actually huge. It's actually a pretty strong item if you think about it. Right here, I like really knew that Pudge was there. I was like, guys, he's gonna be over here. Bring your treants. You're gonna just block the hook. And I kind of wanted to just tank the hook here. Like, fuck it, you know. And we get silenced. I'm spamming my Yules hard. I end up lifting him up. I could have maybe threw him away, maybe not. But both of our supports go down. Good high ground defense by the Pudge, being able to turn the favorable position that we had into an unfavorable one. The craziest thing is, this guy actually gets away. He plays so fucking amazing right here. I think he gets away. Actually, no. Listen, he doesn't get away, but we have Nature's split pushing because they're all just focused on him. And there you go. 2 sets of racks. You're starting to see how like this team composition is not like bad. Like, it's actually a pretty solid team composition. We just needed our Rubick to play better. We wouldn't have had to do all these crazy split pushing things to win the game. I really, at the end of the game, I think it was the Shaman that said they have the better team composition than us. I personally don't think so. I don't think that DK is a very strong hero with like 2 other strength heroes. I think that if DK is the frontliner and then you just have a bunch of DPS heroes, that's stronger. But Spirit Breaker as the frontliner, you know, Dragonite is the frontliner, Pudge is the frontline. That's a lot of frontline, you know? Like, what happens if we have the mobility of Nature's Prophet and we just get behind you and take all your racks, you know? What happens if you overextend a little bit and we're able to, you know, disable you guys down and pick you apart with Drow Ranger right clicks? It's pretty huge. But yeah, Pudge is here. He's chilling. I actually end up getting hooked because Aether Lens is an item. Aether Lens, I underestimate so much how good that item is, like on Pudge. It's so deceiving where like the end range of his hook is. It's so incredibly long. Anyway, they end up overextending again. They miss a couple of spells and then they get punished. That's the problem with Pudge. You miss a hook and the game's over. Like, it's crazy. He landed the hook on me, which is good, and he missed the hook on the people at the shrine and ends up losing because he doesn't end up getting that kill and everybody overextends to try to get the kill. And that's it. And like, it's just basically discipline at this point. We are talking a lot in chat. Like, you can see, like, here, like, get back, careful. Like, we're even using our microphones. Like, we're typing to each other and stuff. Like, I don't know if the other team, like, you don't see it so much in the other team's chat where they're communicating. Like, get back says the Marana, and that's about it. And basically, I'm just saying affirmative because everybody's kind of letting me know how useless I am this game, which, I mean, it's not so much. I mean, I am buying the wards, and, like, wards are enormous. This is 6 minutes of vision that we get over here. And then I put down sentry wards as well because we're looking for Roche. And since they have Marana, and I think this guy's a Shadowblade. Who has a Shadowblade on their team? Nobody? I just assumed that if with a Dragon Knight, Gyrocopter, and Spirit Breaker, that somebody has a Shadowblade. Which, I mean, maybe that would have been good for them if they did have it. Look at that sheep! That's a big-ass sheep, bruh. Anyway. Roshan's free here. Not so much, actually. They do end up trying to contest it a little bit. I kill stuff with Rubick. I end up losing vision of the Spirit Breaker here, so I wasn't able to disable him. Shadow Shaman actually gets disabled as well. Pudge fucks up real hard. Getting silences out on everybody. Pudge can't really get his DPS out. Nature's Prophet has a lot of damage that he does with Mjolnir as well as his Blade Mail. Drow Ranger is meanwhile right-clicking this entire time. He doesn't have his marksman bonus, but that doesn't really matter. I end up dying to the Marana focusing me. I end up buying back anyways, just because I really want to help out with this fight. Nature's Prophet buying back is way bigger, we do end up having our Aegis go down on our Gyro Ranger, which is fine. We end up getting Nature's Prophet to TP in on the back line and getting the 2 kills anyways. So cleaning up that fight's actually huge for us. And we basically just walk in and get megas. I actually no, they have triple buyback right here. So this isn't the end of the game. It looks incredibly over. It really does. But like we're kind of just forcing. I'm like, this guy has no BKB. I'm gonna stun. And he ends up canceling his TP. Gyrocopter gets away as well. I end up using my telekinesis and he leaves. But right here, this guy's looking for his stun. I knew that he was looking for his stun. I get out Yules anyways. He gets hooked. I end up stealing Dismember, which is an excellent spell. I don't think I may end up using it. Here we end up turning, which I mean, he kind of understands that he's dead. So Gyro Ranger TPing out. He doesn't end up TPing out. It's pretty big. I'm trying to keep my my Drow alive right now. I disable the Pudge. He's getting his damage out. I end up using this guy because I don't want him to get right clicked. He just gets him with one big ass right click. He's got his Dismember back up on cooldown. I'm just trying to get my sick right clicks in, and I end up doing it. I'm doing a bunch of damage to that guy, and he was able to clean it up with his Soul Assumption. Mitch wants to play some Dota, which I'm down for, but I'm currently filming right now, so I'm just gonna let him know that that's going down. Anyway, Spirit Breaker, I believe he ends up surviving here. He pushes away the familiars, so he isn't able to get that out. No, he actually goes down, so that's it. Familiars die as well. Familiars are actually worth, wait, it said 40 gold just because he had his buyback up. Normally it's 100. 100 gold per familiars is huge. And Shadow Shaman lives there. Okay, I want to rewind and see how he lives there because he looked so screwed being over here. Can I do /party? I want to change my focus right here to all. He says I'm in rats. One sec. Okay. Is DK so fucking joke, he says. Raffle. We've been reduced to flaming. Anyways. So we've got the Nature's Prophet and Shadow Shaman, who are 2 excellent backdoor heroes. Because they go through the regen, all through the armor, all that stuff. Really helpful. But I end up getting out some wards here. I really do want to fight here, just because like I don't want to end up losing a tier 2 tower. Tier 2 tower is going to be huge because it stops them from getting megas on us if we ever lose a big team fight. Which I mean, since I know how this game goes, I guess that's not significant, but that's just the purpose of saving T2s basically. I'm saying basically a lot. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad commentary. My god. What does this guy get? 2 times. Yeah, 75 move speed strong, but look at this dude. He's got haste and smoke. Like he's actually just dropping it down. It's actually just dropping it down. And since it doesn't look like they have backdoor protection, I'm guessing that there's a thing there. And like he's trying to defend it, which I find is hilarious. Which I mean, he gets a ton of damage down, and they end up getting out their W, out Rocket, and they're just gonna chase him down like crazy. I believe Rocket gives vision, so they actually know exactly where he is right now, and or maybe not. So they go, he gets hit. Spirit Breaker presses charge. He looks pretty dead. Now the thing about this is that this is all space. Them being outside their base like this, all here, even the Gyrocopter being here. Watch our natures. Look at this heads up play. Immediately goes behind, hits that, goes, smacks around their barracks. We even got the triple familiars from the Aghanims up in here, and simple as that. We just win the game because of that, dude. Mega creeps, done deal. And the thing is, they get a kill on our shaman, and our Nature's Prophet has no buyback. So getting a kill here, I was like, they might just all in us mid. Which I mean, if they did that and they just went all in on us mid, that was like the one chance that they had, I think, because mega creeps are insane. Trying to defend mega creeps when your Mirana has like BKB. This is really bad Mirana build actually. If you're gonna be doing this, you have to go Dagon. Like you don't go BKB, bro. Like it doesn't matter in fights. Like look at our physical damage. The disables aren't really what they're scared of. It's mainly because like this guy hits for 400. I hit for like, look at that. I hit for 300 damage as a Rubick. That's insane. I have the 15 intelligence talent because it's extra right clicks, and also I need the mana pool for sure since I don't have arcanes. I didn't want to go the HP pool talent. Like, look at that. That's insane. I hit for 300. I mean, it's not really significant in fights. I mean, it's mainly for hitting buildings. It's just it makes me useful this game simply because there's not a lot of high impact spells that I can steal. Like, I'm never stealing Moonlight Shadow. It's impossible. They cast it so far out of my range, and like Pudge spells are really the only thing I can go for. Which, I mean, I stole Hook, I stole Dismember. I got Dragon Knight spells as well. I didn't steal a single thing from Gyrocopter, mainly because actually no, Rocket Barrage. I got Rocket Barrage once, but that forces me to overextend to get the damage, and you don't want to be in melee range as a Rubick with any of their heroes. Spirit Breaker has so much evasion. How much is that? How much do those give you? 39? It's not as much as I thought, actually. Visage with strong items. This is the regular build. You can go Assault Cuirass after this, and you're basically a core. Which, I mean, the items that I went, I'm going purely support, so I just wanted to make sure that we had detection versus the bottom. It's really what it came down to. And here it looked like, I don't know if it was a close kill on the Spirit Breaker, but okay, we're searching for a match. I gotta film this, asshole! Come on! Bruh! Okay, I didn't need to freak out like that, I'm sorry. I'm just on edge. I don't know. I'm always on edge. I gotta fix my mentality, dude. I'm so bad. I have such a raging problem. Like, it's crazy. It's so bad, actually. I feel like if I would just stay chill and I would just, like, control my emotions better, I would be a much better Dota player, by far. Forget about MMR. I don't even care about my MMR. It's literally, if it's the same, it wouldn't matter. I just want to be a better Dota player and a better person by not being a raging asshole. Okay, right here I end up stealing his call down, which, I mean, depending on that, it could be good. But yeah, this is the last fight of the game. We ended up having Mirana pause it, which is hilarious. And, you know, we just don't end up getting the kills on these guys because they're able to escape. I think I end up getting my dust out. Yeah, they are all dusted. But we're trying to kill my Natures right now. He just pops his Blade Mail, able to turn it around. Nature's Prophet ends up surviving, guys. Nice build, DK. I don't think there's anything too wrong with that build. It's not as high impact as it could have been, but that's the game, guys. That's how you win a 15 XP deficit. We actually almost had 15 XP deficit twice in a row that game. That's crazy. And we still ended up winning. I think it has to do with our team composition is way more synergistic than theirs. They just have like Arrow and Pudge to defend high ground, but since they were always dead when we pushed, they were never really able to defend high ground except that one time over here where I got hooked and Visage got hooked, and it led to them getting a big lead on us. But other than that, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I'm at 58.75 right now, so I'm getting there. I'm getting to 6K, guys. It's happening, and it's gonna be hype. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed. Thanks all for watching, everybody. Take it easy. Peace.